Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you are having a great day today. I know that I am. Thank the good Lord above. So, last video I did was just kind of showing you guys the C10 and showing you kind of what I'm working with, though. So, I've got everything stripped off the truck now. Some of the parts are in sealer primer because I sealed it because the truck. Someone started on body work a long time ago on that truck, though, and I just want to make sure that I sealed it because sometimes when chemicals combine with other chemicals, sometimes there's some issues, and quite frankly, I just wanted to seal it. Then I just did my body work over top of that, though. So anyway, doing the final stage of the blocking on the hood. The doors have already been blocked out. They're ready for sealer. And the reason why I seal things is just to have that double protection. I mean, everybody's different on the way they do things. That's just the way that I do it because I don't know, how this truck is going to be treated. So that's got a little bit of body work to do on the bottom side of the cab. On that side of this. And honestly, these trucks back in the day just was not meant, they was not built to be show trucks. So you really got to work at them to get them looking really nice and really straight because honestly, the body work that I have to do is literally spot welds. Like, they exposed the spot welds back then. They just didn't care. I mean, that's like the tailgate, for instance. So it's a tailgate, and to get this thing looking to where it would look good at a car show, you're going to have to do some work to it, though, because, it's just, they just stamped them together and just set them out there. They wasn't looking for beauty. I mean, these trucks back in the day, trucks are a little bit different now than they were back then. Like, trucks back then were just used for working. And, I mean, that's like, here's the bed. And this bed needs a lot of body work. It don't look like it, but this thing's going to be stripped all the way down. And it's just going to have to be fixed up because there is so many dings all through here. And if you want a good paint job, your body work has got to be number one, because you can be the best painter in the world, but have a crappy body man that came in before you, it's not going to turn out right, though. You want things to look as flat as possible. And this is the stage right here that I'll do it on the hood and the doors. I actually just ran out of guide coat, and I'm going to guide coat these and block them out one more time. Then I'll probably, if need be, I might put maybe one more coat of high build primer on there, and then call it a day. Because your bigger surface areas like your roof, your doors, your fenders, and your hood are those areas that you're going to look across. And when you look across it, you're going to see if it's got little humps, and those little humps distort your paint job. And like I said, I do my body work just a little bit different. I mean, I didn't go to school for it. I'm just a extreme hobbyist that just kind of started doing it for a living. And by the grace of God, I've gotten some really good customers and put out some really good work. So anyway, next stage, finish blocking everything out, and by tomorrow, being Friday, everything will be sealed. And then everything will be ready for paint on Monday, because that way it gives the time to the sealer, even though I'm chemically drying it, because it's a 2K. And if you guys don't know what the difference between 2K and 1K is, 1K, it just pretty much dries on its own. I mean, if you're going to primer it, your 1K stuff is kind of stuff you get at Advanced Auto Parts and like Napa and like O'Reilly's. It's stuff it's cheaper. I mean, it does work good. I've used it on other projects, but stuff like that, you need to let it dry. I mean, if you're going to let it sit in primer in a shop in the back corner for a couple weeks, sometimes a month, it gives it that time to chemically just or what is it called? Off-gassing or what? Yeah, it's off-gassing. Sorry, I don't know the technical term for it. But it gives it the time to off-gas, so it just gives the chemicals that come out through the surface and dry, more or less. But like, when you use a 2K, you're chemically drying it, though, so it speeds up the process. And like, you don't want, especially if you're stacking layers of like primer, and like then you start putting your first coat of base coat, then your first coat of clear, if it's not completely off gassed, once you get some heat to it, once you park it out in the sun, you're going to start having bubbles pop up in your paint because the bottom layer is not exactly dried yet. Like, so it's trying to off gas, it's trying to come out, and the clear coat's already sealed it, so you can't. And sometimes, like, if you look at certain paints, depending on, you'll start seeing little bitty pinhole bubbles in your clear coat though, because your previous coat. That's why there's flash times though, there's dry times. You have to look at your chemical data sheet though. Usually every paint store will carry one though. You need to see what temperature to paint it at. You know what's your dry time, because that stuff really takes a huge effect. I mean, if you're just a hobbyist like I am, you know, that's not putting out like tons and tons of vehicles like a year. I mean, I only put out maybe 2 or 3 vehicles a year. I get customers that just, you know, want something done, and I just, you know, do what I can for them. But yeah, like I said, here's the truck, and like I said, I'm still new into this shop. I'm currently building my paint booth, which I'm building a paint booth / loft. Here's the staircase for it though. Like I said, I'm currently in the middle of, you know, doing things. So I've been, on the weekends, I'll work on my paint booth, and but I made some really nice looking paint jobs, believe it or not, in my garage at my house though. So people are looking at it like, oh my God, you're not got it sealed, you ain't got temperature. I'm like, dude, listen, just chill out, because like, yes, your environment, like yesterday, I couldn't do any primer work though because it was raining, and I keep a gauge in my it keeps the temperature. It's got humidity. So just turn my heater on, and it will dry the air out, and you can see I got the temperature and the humidity gauge on both sides of the paint booth just to make sure. Like, and like I said, I've never had any issues, even with painting in the garage. It's just a matter of just, you have to, this is the difference between me turning out something like fast, and this something that's, like, if I had an actual paint booth, then yes, I could have things done very quickly. But unfortunately, I have to work around the elements though until I get my thing built and get it enclosed though. But hey, you gotta work with what you got sometimes, guys. That's all I can say is, like, one day my shop will be something huge. Oh, crap.